How big a statement or even a step forward was it against the European champions on Tuesday?
Well, it was a terrific performance by the players, and an all-round really good night at Old Trafford. It was a special night as far as I'm concerned. Maybe one of the best ever games I've ever been involved in football, because of the atmosphere, because of the crowd, because of the standard of the opposition, and I think more importantly because of the performance. I think the players put in. I thought the players played really well. So it's a good night. A bit disappointed, as I said, after the game with the result, but overall, you know, there was a lot of good things to take from it.
At a time when the character of this club is questioned, it can still come back. Well, bearing in mind, of course, Manchester City and Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can ever question the character of Manchester United. It's there. You know, it's ingrained in the football club, and I believe that, you know, it's shown its strength. It's needed to show it at times this year, but everybody within the club's shown that, and you know, I thought the atmosphere, the crowd at the game was magnificent. It really was.
I mean, you played tribute to the fans on an awful lot of occasions, and they've supported you. But I mean, that was something different. That was a step up, wasn't it, on Tuesday?
Yeah, but I thought that was the crowd coming to see you know, the final top 8 teams in the Champions League. They came to see you know, the holders of the competition from the year before. They've had many a big games against Bayern Munich in years gone by. So I think the supporters came there really supporting, knowing that they've been involved in some immense games against Munich in the past. And in a lot of ways, hopefully they got that and they saw it in the game.
But players do feed off to that, don't they? I mean, the first half,
yeah,
they went back to the wall in a lot of situations. It seemed to almost be the 12th man.
Well, it was always going to be the case. It was going to be a tough night for us. But I think that the crowd were buoyant by the commitment the players showed, and you know, tactically we had to be good in the night because we were playing against a really good team, and I think most people inside the ground understood what was required in the game, and I think they appreciated the efforts of the players.
The stats even come into it. I mean, people said the next morning, they didn't expect you got a result. You got a result, and they said sort of 26% possession, but you're still in a tie.
Yeah, that's right. And if you'd said to me before the game, you know, what would be a good result, you know, I didn't want to concede a goal. 0-0 might have been better than 1 each, but overall, yeah, it was always going to be Bayern are a good side. They keep a lot of possession. Well, that's why, you know, we knew exactly, and that's why on the night, you know, we got quite a few things right.
But is the start of what you're trying to do an evolution, bearing in mind there's a transfer window to come in the summer, and you're still probably getting to know a few of the players, and you haven't perhaps haven't.
I think Bayern, you know, being European champions, and I think with their style, I think ideally you would want to play as close to that style as you can get. But to do that, you know, they have got some magnificent players that they've had at the club. They've been in the club for so long, and a lot of German players who've been brought up through their system. So I really think that they've had an awful lot in place there, and you know, and they've built on it over recent years.
Newcastle's a tough one, and you don't quite know what to expect. When Alan Partridge talked about the summer, I think your players haven't been thinking about the summer. They're thinking about probably playing their way into your players.
Yeah. The only thing we're thinking about is the Newcastle game. The focus is all on Newcastle. We have to go up there and try and put on a good performance and pick ourselves 3 points up, and keep trying to build a little bit of momentum, especially going into towards the end of the season. But we'll go there and try and do that.
How tricky is team selection?
Well, obviously I've got other things in mind, but again, the focus is completely Newcastle. We'll try and make sure we balance things out correctly, but in the same breath, again, I want to go there. We've got an extra day's recovery. From Saturday to Wednesday's better than last week where it was Saturday to Tuesday, so we'll get an extra day's recovery between games. But you know, the message to the players is it's Newcastle United. You know, that's what we have to do. That's the first game, the next game, and that's the most important one.
Any sort of brighter news on the injury front? I mean, you've got a few now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we've got Johnny Evans and Chris Smalling back in training. You know, that helps us. Ryan Giggs, you know, picked up a wee bit of an injury in the game, and we're not quite so worried about Alex Butner. We think Alex maybe wasn't as bad as he thought when he came off. But you know, we've got Johnny and Chris, you know, on the way back, which is important for us because we've missed them through arguably one of the most difficult times in the season for us, and we could have done with them with their youth and enthusiasm.
I know you'd love to be in the title race, and I know it probably hurts not to be in it at this stage. How do you see that one panning out with these 6-7 games?
Well, I think it's going to be tight. You know, I think there's a lot to play for. But again, my focus is getting us as many points as we possibly can, and in the future it will be being in the title race, that's for sure.